Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the treacherous waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I am joined as ever by Robbie Bellekom, Sam Spleeny Burns, and Ellie Sparrow.
Yeah. Esophagus.
I've been relying on people just sending in threes for a while. It's been some time since I've actually had to think of one myself, and it's showing.
So you went with human anatomy. Okay.
Esophagus
I'm
is
trying
one
to mash
of
together the word esophagus with my name, and I can't.
esophagus.
Esophagus. Esophagily.
Esophagus.
Esophagus.
There's very limited places you can actually put that in. I don't know why I didn't go for like earlobe.
Epidermal.
Yep, the epidermal sperm.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like, be glad you got renal. The first one thought that came to mind was rectal.
I mean, it's still.
Rectal Bellekom.
Renal stay still great.
Robbie, you piss Bellekom.
Yeah.
As Scamp.
That seems like a perfectly good segue, at least as good as any of the others I do, for us to ask, feature us, what messages from the present?
Did Robbie change their name to Piss? Tell us.
Probably.
It's Future Jason with messages from the present. This episode of Flintlocks and Fireballs is brought to you by you. As ever, a massive thanks to our crew members on the Flintlocks Patreon who help keep this ship sailing. There's a wealth of extra content and bonus features for patrons, including regular blog posts, extra stories narrated by the cast, artwork, and a monthly poll for the community to help design an element to go into the game. You can check it out at patreon.com/flintlocks-and-fireballs, link in the description. We are an affiliate of dnddice.com, makers of beautiful specialty dice since 2010. Whether you need dice because you're masquerading as a vampire, calling Cthulhu, or are some sort of Pathfinder gathering the magic munchkins, you can click through our affiliate link in the description and grab yourself or a friend some particularly sexy dice or a particularly sexy leather dice bag. We are also an affiliate of Zavvi, fine producers of nerdy garments and handy household items. Remember, you can click through the affiliate link in the description and use code FLINTLOCKS20 to take 20% off clothing and FLINTLOCKS10 to take 10% off not clothing. And that's it for announcements this time. Back to you, Pastor Jason.
I do realise that makes it sound like you've changed your first name to Piss rather than inserted a middle name. I just asked if you've changed your name to Piss. Yeah, that doesn't clarify that I mean your middle name.
The last name as well.
Your name's now Piss Bellekom in this imaginary feature.
The last name as well. Like we're...
Just Piss?
No, of course not. Piss Welker. You're in fact the Welker from The Welker's Joy, that one halfling pub, like way back into like episode 23 or something. Actually, no, before then.
Piss Welker is a top NPC name.
Yeah,
why are you called Piss? Oh, I don't talk about that. Top NPC material. Like, just saying.
It's like, why do you call them Piss? They wouldn't give us the real names, so they said call us whatever you want. So call them Piss and stuck.
You ever been stuck at sea for so long without fresh water? No.
It's short for pissing.
I did actually have a friend who I called by the wrong name for that exact reason. When I first met him, he wouldn't tell me his name, like he was like fucking about. And his mate went, his name's Fred. His name was not Fred. I called him Fred for like our entire high school lives. I still do sometimes. I think he's actually just started listening, so if you ever get here, hello. You know who you are. Yeah.
Aww.
I'm not going to like full name him because I don't know if he's comfortable with that, but like, hello.
Let's not dox people.
Hello, Fred.
Yeah.
Speaking not at all of Fred, but potentially of listening, that seems good enough. It's time for us to begin Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs, the party have returned to Newmark after an adventure off at the Institute, only to find that the city is plagued with gang violence as the various gangs of Newmark attempt to settle old grievances in the party's absence. The party have separately approached two of the different gangs in fact, all of the gangs at this point, to potentially ally with
Crime friends.
Yes, to potentially ally with your crime friends, the Deadeyes, and regain control of the city's underworlds in the name of the Fisher Kings. However, a third way has been presented after Senhuisen, would-be lawyer, because can't actually pass the bar because Goblin, has suggested to the party that instead they help her unrig an election by brutally murdering the leadership of both of the main crime gangs that are engaging in political
So
interference.
weird that that's how you unrig an election.
Yeah.
Because that's usually how you rig an election.
Yeah, murdering
Yeah.
everyone
Opposition,
doesn't
yeah.
usually have the opposite result.
Yes. Don't try this one at home, kids.
Murder in the name of democracy.
However, the party find this idea particularly appealing. So you've made your plan to take the fight initially to the Five Friars gang in Five Friars, and in particular to wipe out their leader, Owen Copperkettle, as well as his 6 primary lieutenants.
I forgot how many of them there were.
Oh yeah, there's more than 7 halflings of significance as well. There's more than the 7 halflings. You've seen
He's got
various of them around the
snipers as well,
parts.
hasn't he?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of halflings around these parts, but you've decided that this would probably be the tougher nut to get out of its shell rather than cracking it. As well, you're reasonably confident you could probably lure Heinrich Jenks and the Bowstring Boys out into the open. In the event of if you went and hit the Bowstring Boys first, you decided it's pretty likely that Copperkettle would just go to ground. So instead, you're going to figure out how to assault him within his seat of power. Which brings us to about 3 in the afternoon, maybe closer to 3:30 after a set about fucking about, in Newmark on the pier. What do you want to do? How are you going to make your plans?
And when does the sun go down? 'Cause that's
The
a whole
sun
thing.
goes down in around about 6. You got about 2.5 to 3 hours.
Anyone else stressed?
Unbelievably.
Well, what do we know about the surrounding buildings to that particular pub? Is there anything he could have a secret tunnel into?
The pub itself, you recall, is actually built into the sort of is kind of built onto the ground floor of what is essentially a rich people estate. Like it's actually the Cardigan townhouse, like the mansion away from your mansion, as it were, in the inner city. So, in terms of where he might potentially be able to burrow to, you're not sure, but there are townhouses all around it. Like it's technically detached, like a detached block, but it's very close to two other fancy townhouses. There are streets behind, streets ahead. It's a bit of it's not necessarily the best planned city street. Oh, actually, no. Technically, there was a good attempt made at city planning here, and then house prices being what they are, everyone kind of ignored them.
Makes sense, I
Right.
suppose.
But I guess if you want to try and investigate individual buildings around, then you'll need to go back and take a look. Or I guess, no, actually, you've been there, you've seen it. So I can give you a kind of loose sense of the streets that you've seen thus far. Can I have everybody's passive investigation, please? Just your investigation plus 10.
11.
16?
11.
Yeah, 16.
16, cool. So, Celestia, you're the one who'd remember the most about this, because this is... You didn't go in searching specifically, so it's more about what you've casually noticed. So, the Cardigan Townhouse itself is a well-built brick structure, facaded with cut stone to make it look more impressive. It's got little fake columns on the front. It is a building that has been like many of the buildings around it, has been subdivided for halflings. You see there's, on the upper levels, there's lots of long windows which have extra floors added in halfway up. This environment is not really designed with tall people in mind, nor was the pub, which is a thing to remember. Mm-hmm. The pub itself is built onto the very ground floor and can be accessed from a side entrance next to the... Basically, in the original build, which was built for humans or orcs, there's an impressive kind of set of stone steps leading up to a raised big front door. And then what was... is almost like the servants' entrance, like to the side where you go down some steps, is the entrance to the Fretting Fiddler, the pub that Copper Kettle uses as a base of operations. In terms of the street ahead of it is actually relatively wide for this area. You could get a couple of hand carts through at the same time if you wanted it to. Actually, no. You could probably get a couple of full-sized carts through because this is a main street. Opposite it and either side of it, for the most part, are similarly quite well-to-do subdivided buildings. To this area of town doesn't have a lot of obvious shop frontage for the most part. This particular section is more where rich people live. However, on the opposite side of the street, kind of one story, two buildings down, there is what appears to be a halfling tailor's that's accessible from the ground floor, kind of like a fancy boutique type of arrangement. You do see there is also, you do remember there's also a cellar entrance, kind of one of those ones where it's just like a big, almost like a storm shelter style board that padlocked that you could open up and roll barrels down into,
Right.
near to the pub as well. Because of that 16, you do remember that the back of the house also cuts onto a much smaller, narrower alley. That alleyway itself then backs onto a series of brick tenements, which are much more densely packed and not as fancy. And you think you recall the fronts of those are mostly filled with various shops where less absurdly well-to-do halflings are kind of plying their trades and living their lives.
I relay this, obviously.
Well, if it has a cellar, which, let's face it, most pubs would, that would be favourite for if there is a secret escape tunnel or something.
Yeah, and it could come out anywhere. If it was me, I'd have it coming out in one of the cheaper tenements, which you could leave empty and no one would notice.
Very true.
Yeah, that would
But
make
that
sense.
doesn't narrow it down, does it?
No.
Was that place
No, it doesn't.
sanctumed? Do we know?
That's a good
That's
point.
what I was thinking. I was wondering if we could have a little look at the past, if he'd escaped before.
Yeah. Or the future if he's gonna try and escape.
Yeah.
That's true.
Do we know if it's sanctum? We're not sure, are we?
You have no idea.
But we know he's not big on magic. And not crazy rich.
You
Yeah.
know that having a wizard is a relatively big feather in the caps of both the Dead Eyes and of the and actually of the Sunset Girls, although it wasn't widely known that they had one.
Yeah. And it's a whole thing that they can never be found because they can make a sanctum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually, if you want a sanctum, you either need to have a wizard on hand, or you've got to be able to get hold of something like on your ship, like
Yeah.
a permanent thing, and those need to be installed. So you need an enchanter, or you need a wizard willing to stick around for a year.
Okay, so it's probably not.
Unlikely.
So whether
Yeah.
it's worth wasting a spell, like messaging someone and checking, probably not.
Probably not.
We've got a long night ahead of us.
We do.
Yeah, although...
I'd be less worried about losing a scry than a spell,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
well,
definitely.
Worth it to know either way, I think.
Okay, how the fuck would we word this then?
Show me the next time Owen Copperkettle flees for his life.
Let's
well,
do it
no,
random.
yeah, he could be fleeing from anywhere.
That could be like, yeah, anytime.
Alright, what about... Show me the next time Owen Copperkettle uses his... secret means of escape.
What was the pub called?
Uses his secret escape route out of his pub.
Yeah,
That's
but we
pretty
don't need to,
specific.
it doesn't necessarily need to be the next time. It could be the last time.
That could be the last time. We might. I don't know.
We could just ask to see it and then leave it up to...
Show
'Cause he
us
might
when
have
that
never
happened.
used it.
Yeah.
Alright.
So show us. What the fuck is his first name? I've forgotten.
Owen, spelt E-I-O-N. Sorry, E-O-I-N. Gotta get that spelling right.
Oh, yeah.
Show us Owen Copperkettle using the escape route out of his pub. Could that work?
Yeah. Oh, it's secret might be good, because otherwise...
Secret escape route out of his pub.
Yeah.
Secret.
Important thing.
We should probably do this on the ship, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Probably, just to be safe.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Alright.
Where are we?
You were on the
We're on the
docks.
docks right now.
So,
Okay.
given that you were basically
near the
planning
ship, aren't we?
things,
Yeah.
you're pretty much
Yeah.
like you've been having this conversation quietly, waiting for the rowboat to get to you. Rowed, but like muttered was you've gotten back to the ship, and then probably had this the rest of the key parts of this conversation in Corzin's stateroom.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a cat in my lap in that case.
Yeah, Stormy is just like.
Yes. Are you any good at scrying?
Stormy kind of looks up at you and vaguely, like, playfully bats at your face. But it's not as bad as it would be, but she is, like, a little smaller than a Maine Coon right now.
I did not say face hitting, I said scrying. Hey. I boop her on the nose. Yes, I love you too. We should go and scry. I'm getting distracted by the cat.
Yeah, let's go do that.
Yeah.
Easily done.
You head down to the sending room and have, once again, it's Alton, take a break. Well, not Alton. Alton ain't working here anymore.
Alton's busy.
Alton is busy. Auden, the bald chap with the lucky rabbit's foot.
Oh.
Once again, it's Auden on scrying duty today, so he just takes a bit of a break.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Just about right time. Actually. The doc just finished up. Doc just finished up in here himself. Always smells of chickens.
Yeah.
Says
Well, mind you, it's, like, you'd never tell besides that.
Nah, it's nice actually. It's nice actually. I chatted to him for a bit, but he actually finds this is one of the few quiet places in the ship when everything's going.
Oh, that's fair.
Good place to meditate.
Yeah, I'm quite glad there is one, to be honest. We all need one sometimes.
I mean, it's basically a bare room, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to go get a drink. Horton gives you a nod.
See you later.
Salutes as captain and leaves. Okay.
I'll say the wording that we were going for. What was it? Show me Owen Copperkettle escaping his pub.
The secret escape.
Yeah.
Using the secret escape route from his pub.
Yeah.
So, I want to confirm this wording. Show me Owen Copperkettle using the secret escape route from his pub.
Yes?
Cool,
Does that
thank
sound
you.
right, Yang?
It does, and I'm worried now.
Cool.
Yeah.
I need to roll a couple of dice.
Please can, like, eat a baby and, like, fly into the air with how your face is right now. Like, that just...
Yeah, we just somehow get really confused and say entirely the weirdest thing that comes up. Show me Owen Copperkettle eating a baby. No, that's not what... Oh, never
Wait,
mind.
oh no. Would there be a bubble? That's the question.
Hopefully not, but...
Let me just find which dice I need to roll here. Okay, so this is... Well, first thing is... Okay. Second thing is... Whew. Okay. Celestia, can you roll me a d4, please?
D4? I do
Oh,
want
no.
one of those. Now I refuse.
Scale.
Why are none of them ever a D4? There we go. 2.
Okay. 2. So that is... Cool. And roll me a d12, please.
D12.
These concerning
5.
numbers.
5. Okay. So this would be... what's the current date? Got it. You spin the eye and fall into that ocean. Almost immediately, a bubble comes up to reach you. All right, so you see... I'm trying to think about the time of this. Owen is sat in the pub, actually, initially. And, and honestly, for the next 5 to 6 minutes, you are essentially treated to a scene of Owen and his various relatives / crime friends having some drinks, playing some pool, and otherwise, hanging out a little bit. The atmosphere is fairly convivial, actually, for the most part. It is a... Let's see. It looks like a kind of a lazy afternoon. There's light streaming through the windows to the street level. You can hear the distant sound of the city moving around. Yeah, that makes sense. And
Is it this afternoon?
Yeah, is it now?
roll a perception check, please.
Forgotten what my perception is. Standard. That is
20. It's definitely 20.
17.
17. Okay. It's not this afternoon. It doesn't feel like this afternoon. The weather is a little feels a little different. You can see a small you can see small spatters of rain, like a light drizzle, and one or two halflings coming into the pub, kind of like take their hats and coats off and dry them out before they go over to settle. Listening to conversations, you hear. I'm trying to think when you arrive. Yeah, you hear someone murmuring. You get a snatch of conversation. I don't know if anything's going to come of it. But you know, there's been a lot of agitation down in Thunder's Watch. Thunder's Watch people are always agitating about. They've been saying when there were those tea. They've been talking a lot about when the next tea shipment's coming in. They're going to send a message or something. Well, you know, that's the really thing that's going to happen. That seems a bit out of sorts. Who needs tea? We got coffee. We got whiskey. It'll be fine. A little bit more murmuring. You overhear someone mention. This would be... you hear this is... It's... Check my own calendar for a moment. Get this right. We are in... Full ripeness. There we go. Forgot my own calendar. Someone mentioned... They go like... So what is you? When are we making the shipment? What's next Petter's Day? Are we still in full ripeness? Yeah. It's a few days on after that we'll be getting into we'll be getting into falling leaves. Right. Petter's Day. Then we'll be wanting to meet up with the girls and take care of that.
Where is Owen Copperkettle?
Owen is playing pool for the most part, just quietly tapping things, but you get a sense that he's paying attention to what's going on. You can see there are, I'm going to say with him at this time, 3 familiarly sort of everyone's got a bit of a kinsman look to Owen, but in particular there is one woman, halfling woman, with very I want to say full kind of red hair, like where she's got curls and they like bound outwards. Not quite Merida from Brave, but in that sort of general area. There is one more serious looking chap with a sort of carrot orange mustache and hair. And there is also a halfling woman who you can see is just missing a chunk of her earlobe, as if someone might have like grabbed an earring and pulled it out.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ouch.
But it's in the midst, as I say, about 6 minutes in though, one of the door opens and Owen's eyes glance up at someone coming in. Another of the halflings comes by and takes off his coat, hangs it up, orders a pint, and passes a note to the barman. The barman doesn't acknowledge it, but pours the pint, wanders over, pours another and passes it to Owen along with the note.
I'll try and read the note.
Yep. It says, this would be high tide, 8 o'clock, and there is a little sketched pencil of a 5-pointed star.
Interesting.
Owen seems to takes another minute or so to do so to play a bit more pool before declaring, I think I'm about done for the day. Toby, take over from me, would you? And he kind of signals one of the people with him. I'm going to say the woman with the very full red hair, and they both head down. I'm going to say they head to the side of the bar, where there is a trap door. They pull it open, and you can see there's stairs that lead down into a fairly rich looking, like a fairly expansive looking beer cellar. Following down, so getting a glimpse of the cellar itself, for the most part the cellar is full of racks to hold the beer. There are some there are little ramps that can be pushed up to help load beer barrels up and get them down again. You do notice that there are a couple of you do notice that there is actually what appears to be a doorway on the far end of the cellar. Although there is a stout iron bar reinforced door on that. You don't know where it leads, but you do notice, with your passive perception, the halfling who is sat down here have it with a quiet beer nearby, and you notice they're perched in a corner where they're not actually that obvious, but they do have a pistol gently resting on their lap and a side table with a pint nearby. They look up as Owen enters, give him a nod. Boss? Anything else I should be aware of? Just keep an ear out on things. We should be back by 9 or so, all things being equal. Right, your boss. Owen closes the door behind him, and the red-headed woman walks over, and you can see her mentally counting beer barrels until she gets to the 8th along. It's like a big old hogshead. Mm-hmm. She reaches down to the spigot with one hand, and underneath the rim of the what do they call the Cooper? The ring that Coopers make that hoop that you use to keep the barrel staves in place.
I have no idea what that bit's called.
Yeah,
I am not sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's one of those like big metal rings. She reaches down the side, down underneath that at the same time, and then turns the spigot. I want to say 120 degrees to the left, 180 degrees to the right, and then back into the initial position.
I memorize that.
It's an easy enough combination for you to memorize with your 19 intelligence. And then
I think they're just called hoops by the look of it.
Hoops, excellent.
But they've got different names depending on which one it is, but they are hoops.
Okay.
And then pulls, and the end of the hogshead just... Actually, there's not even a creak. It's actually very well oiled wherever the hidden hinges are. Swings open, and you can see that inside the empty barrel, there is... I'm trying to think what's actually in here. There is a little well, there's a little bit of flat ground, of flat boards, which she steps over carefully, and which lead to a ladder, which goes up and out, and you can see there's just a little glimmer of light up above. Owen is just sort of waits for a moment, looks over to her, she gives a nod, he follows after her, and then the pair of them climb up the ladder. She reaches up to the trapdoor, and there's like a little sort of mechanism there, like a little latch. Although you notice that she reaches the latch, she also then takes hold of a little key on it, so like turns the key first, then turns the latch to unlatch it, pushes it open a little, takes a glance, pushes it open a bit more. She leaves first, closes the trapdoor behind her. Owen waits about another a minute or so, and then follows after, doing the same motion with his hands, taking one latch key, turn key, then turn latch, and comes up as you clamber up after him in your vision form into what appears to be a small halfling-sized outhouse, which, as you kind of like half scramble / phase through the wall, because it's a bit small for you. He pushes the door open, and you see he comes out to what appears to be one of a series of 4 outhouses round the back of the pub in the little alleyway behind.
Okay. So it comes up through a loo.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Right. Okay.
The vision, at this point, you feel the bubble close around you, and you return to the present. Please add a past tally.
I have done. So, one way to kill this halfling is to drop bombs down the toilet.
Amazing.
I then actually explain, but I just wanted to say that. I tell them everything, obviously.
All right. Well, that also gives us perhaps an alternate and more stealthy means of entrance if we have to go in there after him.
I mean, if we could keep it really quiet and have a bit of time sat in his basement, can you cast guards and wards on his...
Now that I like.
It's like 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
You need to visit every location of guards and warding.
I do.
Right, know that.
Yeah.
Even with, I mean, we were talking about this off-air, listeners, so I'm sorry, but even with that scroll of seeming that we got a while back, I can't be a halfling.
No, but it
It's
would be
also-
funny if Corzin was Owen Copperkettle.
That would be sort of genius.
It is also very obvious that you are casting a spell when you are casting guards and wards.
Yeah.
There's not really...
super
It's a
obvious.
10-minute spell. It's not one that you can sleight of hand.
I
don't
do
get
want
to
to do
sleight
it
of
on
hand
someone
a 10
else's
minute
house, though.
That would be
It'd
really
be so
fun.
good someday to do it on someone else's house.
Just do it while they're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does occur to me that if we cause enough of a commotion, he might go out the bolt hole anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I think that's probably our best bet, to be honest.
Can we set some sort of trap?
Down the halfling bolt hole? Correct me, DM, if I'm wrong.
Honestly, you're going... Even the cellar is the place you'd be most able to stand upright, which is kind
What
of an
about the
issue.
actual hole? Could I fit down the loo?
You could, but it would be a squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it'll be a squeeze just getting into the privy. That you have a distinct disadvantage in that everything is sized to be comfortable for halflings.
He's probably got snipers watching the loo as well, realistically.
Probably. I would.
So I'm just imagining that job. Who's on crop duty? Nigel, Tommy.
It's always Nigel. So, I mean, if we could make it so that if he opens the toilet from inside, it explodes, that would be amazing.
That would be
All right,
incredible.
how practically can we do this?
I don't know, but it would be hilarious.
It would be really good. I want to
I
drop
got-
a bomb down the toilet with my
I
whole
want to-
heart. I'm not sure it's actually a good idea, but it's very funny. I mean, there are also a number of extremely distracting things I can do, obviously. Like, you know, to do a big old illusion and make it look like, what's his fucking name? Horrible orc man, Jenks. Can make it look like he's just decided to attack early or something.
I mean, yeah.
That could work.
Like, if it was something realistic, it's probably more likely to actually get him. I've done really weird illusions quite recently in the city.
What if we were to hide a powder keg in there, so that the second that you open the door, we ignite it, bang.
I mean, we have to then guarantee that he's going that way and have something ready to detonate it, which is going to be harder.
Yeah.
True, I was just thinking, you could probably ignite it with prestidigitation, couldn't you?
Yeah, but we have to have line of sight of it.
True.
Which means, like, chasing him down into it and then getting back out to it.
Yeah.
Was it a straight line to the toilet?
Jason.
What do you mean by a straight line to the toilet?
Like
okay, so we put a keg of powder in the toilet,
Would it
and
drop
then
into the basement?
from the basement, cast
would.
fireball down the corridor.
It would drop. So there is a straight tunnel leading from the hidden privy chute down, which by the way is to the side of the actual privy pit. So it's not just underneath a pile of shit. There is a straight chute with a ladder that goes down, but then it leads into the hogshead, which has a little bit of like horizontal travel before you get into the cellar.
Theoretically, if we dropped enough explosives down there, what would happen?
I mean, like, how enough are we talking? Enough
Like
to
fucking loads.
Because like I mean, like a couple of well preserved. I mean, like a keg, a powder keg would probably be enough to smash up the. Maybe one or two powder kegs would be enough to smash up the hogshead.
Yeah.
Definitely a fireball, since it's largely made of wood. But I don't know. Like if you kept putting it off, presumably you could do some damage to the foundations. But one thing that is worth noting, because you would have noticed this with your passive investigation, the corridor up, like the tunnel going upwards with the ladder, was well built solid brick. It looks to have been custom built into place, and indeed the stones of the cellar itself, although they went glamorous brick, again had solid brick walls to it.
How did he get out the toilet? Is there like a hatch?
You saw a trapdoor. From the top, the trapdoor is not particularly visible because it blends into the wooden flooring of the privy outhouse.
Like a little poo trap door.
Like a little poo trapdoor, but it's actually more like where you'd put your feet.
I can't believe I just made you
Right,
say
yeah.
poo trap door with you in the mouth. That was amazing.
So we could nail it shut,
We could.
and then just when they're in the tunnel, they're kind of trapped.
Yeah. That's
That is true.
That's also true. It would mean that we would have to eventually either go in after them or drop the building on them.
Well, if they're in the tunnel, you just throw spells and gunshot down there.
True.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah. Simple but effective, and hopefully,
If we can get them into the tunnel, it's actually a really
Yeah.
good position.
yeah, okay, so what about if we were to stage a little illusion that Jenks was attacking early? Have it look like he'd surrounded it on one side, so their only means of escape is through the tunnel.
Yeah.
I mean, my guess is that they'll try and stay and fight, most of them. But
I can do a 20-foot cube, darling.
That ain't gonna
So
work
it's not
then.
that big. But the other option is we could let a big unknown fire thing loose in the pub and see what happens.
that might do it, you know.
We could also ask Lux to help.
We could ask Lux to help. That could be fun.
That is
That's also-
is a quite high spell, but
Definitely could. Says a voice in your ear.
why are you always like that?
I just want to be helpful.
I don't. No, you don't want to be helpful, do you?
I want to be out.
Yeah, that's a different thing, isn't it? So it's
Lux
quite a
can be
high
really
spell.
Scary things.
Lux could be the scariest of things.
Also, not as far as I'm aware, directly traceable to us.
Yep.
What would be really ideal? This is in the ideal magical scenario in my brain. I have no idea how to make it happen. What would be really ideal is if we could make something shit happen in the pub, something terrible, and we could block up the other exits.
Yeah. how
So that's the
difficult
only
would
one
that
left.
be?
I have no idea how that would happen.
The people in the pub, they're not all like the gang, are they? We can't just chuck a fireball through the window without hurting people who just happen to be there.
No, well, that's true.
Yeah. Only, I mean, it's close people we want dead, really, isn't it? And yeah, it is just a random pub in the daytime, essentially, isn't it? Now that would be bad. That would be very bad.
Yeah, there are potentially a bunch of halflings
having a
who
drink.
just feel like who just, you know, even if they like, you know, hang out in the gang pub without being part of the gang.
Yeah. I don't suppose you could send to Owen with a sending saying, Jenks is after you, get out of there now.
He's
got
met
you.
me. He'd know it was me.
True.
Might not be the end of the world.
True. Well, that's quite a hard sell. I'm not saying it
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't work, but if it didn't work, all we've done is put his back up thinking we're going to do something.
Yeah.
That's true.
How big is Jenks? Jenks is pretty big, isn't he?
Jenks is fairly big. He's about he's 6'2" actually. So he's about your height or a little shorter, but he's wide. He's built is more the thing.
I could totally be Jenks.
Could Lux look like Jenks?
What was that?
Depends on what Lux form is. Some of them I think can shapeshift.
That'd be really helpful.
I don't know if they're the strongest ones. I'm just looking for devils at the moment.
Don't worry, my darling. Take your time.
Night hag, not a devil. Is a fiend, not a devil. What are you? You're
Is
not
anything
a
that has
shapeshifter.
shape-shifting properties?
Yeah. Ooh.
So I want havoc, though. So.
Just send Lux in as fucking Ringu again.
Oh, wow.
Just like a random halfling pub. Oh, God! What'd be really good to know is what he's actually afraid of.
Yeah.
That's a good
It'd be
point.
really helpful. Then we could do some big terrifying illusion. Or whatever.
Yeah, that could work. Although I get the impression that people in his position are one of the things they're most afraid of is being outsmarted, outmaneuvered, brung low.
Not that I've just looked at my spell card and had a random thought or anything. I don't say that in character. But It was quite fun that time. I dropped a confusion into a pub.
Yep,
I mean, yeah.
that could work.
Well, that might make him fucking run off. It was
There's
terrifying.
There is a form that Lux can take that's pretty charming, in a sort of magical sense.
Ooh.
What's that?
Incubus or succubus.
Oh.
That could get weird. Excellent.
Well, certainly that might be very useful in convincing him to go where we want him to go.
Well, it's not just him, is it? He's got loads of
that's
people
true.
around him.
That is true. If
I suppose I could be a very charmingly persuasive little halfling. Ish.
I can only do one at a time, though, which is a problem.
all right.
I was looking at... Incubus is not the strongest of things, so it could be useful.
I mean, yeah, as a general rule, your succubus or incubus is... And really, given the shape-shifting powers of succubi and incubi, it's really a matter of what they feel like in the given day. It's not really if your succubus is in direct combat, usually something's gone wrong.
Yeah.
They're not really combat things, are they?
Whereas this one can just hell flame.
I mean, that would do it, probably.
But look, so you're gonna look like you'll look like this monster thing, won't you? It won't be subtle.
I mean, it depends. I can be subtle, but think of it as like as a sort of sliding scale, darling, between beauty and charm and fire.
I do like fire. Come
on, I'm itching to get out.
I know you are, which is what's worrying. Oh. How high up do I have to... What spell level would I have to do that? 1 for each above 5th, so 7... Oh, that's quite high.
I'm very interested in this.
Oh, you already did that one. It was the Chain Devil. It was pretty good with the unnerving thing and all of the chains everywhere.
Oh, yes.
I mean, it might be on brand with the Bowstring Boys.
Bowstring Boys, you haven't heard a lot of the Bowstring Boys methods, but demon summoning is pretty distinctive. Enough that all of the...
I saw one of them brandishing a meat hook over here.
I was going to say, yeah, but all of the local churches took at least some issue with your, conjuring a demon prince.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. But what if we went for a nice meeting and I went, oh, I need to use the outhouse. And I go to the outhouse and I summon a devil.
Summoning a devil in the outhouse.
That's what they're calling it these days.
I'm sorry, are you suggesting that we go to this man, coming back in as though we've thought about it, and we're accepting his offer, and we're going to make him be a Fisher King? And then you just summon a devil in his fucking outhouse. Because that's amazing.
I
Does
like
the
it.
plan go any further from there, or is that as far as you've got thus far?
That is as far as I've got thus far.
I love it. Let's do that.
I mean, we could definitely get in that way.
Well, I mean, that is honestly a way in. Because he might be expecting us to come back. He did seem to think a lot of himself.
We were just going off to speak to everyone else.
The exits through the toilet.
Yes.
Was it locked or barred in any way, or is it going to be easy enough to get in from that side if you know it's there?
Super locked and barred.
You You did not see whatever mechanism is used to get in from the outside. It's possible that there isn't a mechanism to get in from the outside beyond just, like, presumably prying the hatch up in some way. You were able to see exactly the mechanism to get out once you are inside.
So I
How
couldn't
long did it
open
take
it
you
up
to
and
summon
summon
a
a devil down the toilet.
I mean, it's really good.
Like, the outhouse isn't big. It's not going to fit me and a chained devil subtly inside.
I wouldn't have thought so.
It's really not.
It's also a really big spell if we want it to be a chained devil.
It's huge.
I've got to do 2. Oh, that's a 7th level spell.
I mean,
For a
this plan
toilet
is
devil.
essentially distract this man and throw a demon down his toilet and see what happens. I like D&D. D&D's stupid.
What else have we got? We've
Alright,
got a
so
barb
once
devil.
it's-
What's that do? That can hold flame.
Is there a toilet demon?
Yeah, probably if we go to modern Canaans.
Probably, yeah.
Probably
So
belong
for just the 5th level spell, I could get us a barb devil.
Okay, that's pretty good, isn't it? That's scary.
Yeah, it can do. It's got a claws and tails. It holds fire.
Is he a particularly religious man? That might make it worse.
I don't think so.
I can't imagine so.
How big is this thing? Does it say medium? That's like my
like-
size, right? We could fit 2 of me in a toilet.
If there are like the halflings at home, probably about as religious as your community was, like Corzin, so like it varies.
Right, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's there, but it's not like the
Yeah,
centerpiece.
you get some who are quite like who are big region, like all about the region. Others who are like probably like quietly borderline atheist or agnostic, but you don't really talk
Right,
about
yeah.
it in case the priest
Yeah.
hears you.
I think what we really need is a fusion of these few plans that we've been talking
Yeah.
about. So me and Corzin go
Sexy
in.
fire thrower.
Sexy fire toilet. No, that's not.
Sexy
not-
toilet.
I'm sorry, I've gone back a few steps in my brain and I've not said it out loud, so I just sound completely insane. What I'm thinking is basically me and Corzin go in like, hooray, you're the Fish King, congratulations, let's have a party. Then I drop confusion at random. You say, oh, I have to go for a piss, and you go and summon a devil. And then we just, I don't know, Corzin shoots everyone. I'm tired.
Well, that's certainly a start.
It's got flair. It might not be very good, though.
I think probably what we want to do in order to be thorough is obviously we'll know where he is, but we need to know wherever his subordinates are as well. I think that's the main benefit of dropping the confusion there. So once that is dropped, the whatever it is that Scamp summons makes its appearance.
I have a name. Not that you can hear Lux say that.
Yeah. No,
I don't say anything.
I will just say it for the record, that's just literally because Corzin doesn't know what form it's going to take yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it will always be Lux.
That arrives, we make to skedaddle in the confusion, and then just make sure that the right people are shoved in its path. Is that kind of what we're thinking at the moment?
Confusion
I
might
don't.
also make it harder to tell who the right people actually are, because
Yeah,
you know,
I also
we'll just be running
wouldn't-
around screaming.
I wouldn't trust Lux to do all of it by herself, because that's quite a few people.
All right.
No offense.
mean,
Just it might be spread out. You can't be everywhere at once.
well, not yet. No, you don't have that sort of power.
Worrying. But Lux covering the exit might be a really useful thing to have.
Maybe you should have a chat with that very handsome serpenty fellow. and see if he knows of any forms you could give me that can self-replicate, though.
No, let's not talk to the Sun Eater. No.
Don't let Lux talk to him. Fucking hell, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Even just a dinner date would do.
No.
I'd get so lonely. See, I'd make an excellent succubus.
You would, but that's not helpful right now.
It's not my fault you're going with the fire plan.
Celestia,
Yes.
what if we went to Copper Kettle, said, right, we need to speak with you immediately. The Fisher Kings have decided to invest you. However, this must be completely and utterly secret for the moment. We cannot tip our hand this early, so we need to do this in a place that is safe, secure, and above all private. We know that they have one nearby. If they take us down there, the rest of the plan can go off with even less of a hitch.
How do we know he'd take us down there, though?
He's not going to leave his pub.
That was my thinking. Also, it's the easiest place nearby that he has that is in theory a place he can control and make sure that we're not overheard in, because we're right in the middle of a pub. We can make a reasonable claim that we don't want to be overheard, whatever we're talking about.
I don't think he's going to take us down to his secret room, though.
I don't
just a
trust
cellar,
him to
that's
take us
enough.
to the secret room. He's met us once, and we've been kind of dicks.
Yeah, there are also other rooms in the pub.
To the secret room, if I was him, I'd take us, to the we have like a function room or even like an upstairs or whatever. I'd take us somewhere random.
So I'm just imagining. I'm imagining like the function room at like a proper.
Celestia's really posh. That was the poshest way of
No.
putting it. Okay?
I'm thinking of the shitty pub function rooms you get where like the carpet's peeling a bit.
Oh yeah.
And like chairs are stacked up in a corner. It's like, right, let's complete our inauguration of you into a Fisher King.
Yeah, stacco wallpaper.
I'd love to do a pretend ceremony for him.
Yeah, actually,
That would be
How good
hilarious.
would that be? Oh my
In
god,
all
let's do a
seriousness,
pretend
they
ceremony.
don't
I'll get
gonna
my
know this, are
saber
they?
out and I'll be like, get on your knees, I'm gonna make you a Fisher King. This is how it works, and just fucking sell the shit out of it.
I mean, honestly, they
And then
don't
cut his
know
fucking head off. And the
otherwise.
plan's done. It's finished. So she's looking a bit like wild-eyed.
I like that plan.
Isolating Copper Kettle with some of his closest lieutenants, though, is
Not a bad idea at all.
a good idea, I think. Yes.
Gets rid of the innocent bystander problem.
Yes, and I think we're all in favour of that.
Does. I mean, I suppose even if it doesn't end up with us being in the cellar, still getting them isolated is not a bad shout.
Yeah.
I really want to do my pretend Fisher King ceremony, and I can't get it out of my head, and it's not a good idea.
Well, no, I think that actually could be something that is worth selling the whole idea. Is that,
Just looks at Corzin. Well, please continue.
Or at least, like, put them in contact with the Fisher Kings. Do a message, like, pretend you're doing a sending and passing on a message from him or something.
He doesn't know anything about fucking magic, does he?
I mean, you can make it look like a sending easy.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just some wavy hand things if you can't
he
see
knows
the
a lot
rainbow
less
spirit,
about it than
isn't
you do.
You can do the whole Prestidigit, what's it?
I can do that. Make it all glow up. Or whatever.
Alright.
Oh, look, I'm doing ascending. Ooh. They said they like you. Basically a puppet show, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a sense.
So, we go in, we decide we're going to have a conversation. I pop out to the loo for a minute. It takes a minute to cast this, by the way.
All right.
Okay.
I was thinking we could put a powder keg in a bag, and I could just leave Lux on the loo with a powder keg.
Makes sense.
That's really funny.
We can go and get one from the ship stores.
And then we go. I come back. We say, "Oh, we need to talk privately." We go and we do some sort of masquerade.
I feel like maybe you leaving for a minute and coming back is a thing that just you might struggle with. You know?
Suspicious.
Selling that.
Well, I've eaten a lot of food today in a lot of places.
Yeah, maybe something
Hang
disagreed
on.
with you.
We can both make convincing fart smells with magic.
I mean, we can.
We can make it smell like you have the worst farts anyone has ever had. Pretend farts are such a good part of a plan. We should have this in more plans.
Yes. So I go away and come back.
This is such a serious situation.
I
We need to
know.
resolve a gang war by this evening. What the fuck are we doing?
By the way, a powder keg will just like it's an actual 25-pound keg. Are you doing like a little keg? If you're looking for like a small keg of powder, it's actually remarkably cheap.
Okay.
You need to spend a gold on that.
Happily.
I looked at these like
Happily, I will spend a gold on that.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll leave it with Lux to
Yep, okay. I'm marking a gold
hopefully blow up, if needed, blow up the tunnels or whatever, or blow up whoever's in the tunnels. Because if Lux could throw fire. And then
How many-
also, this version of Lux has telepathy. So,
How many bags do you have?
a very good question.
you created
Where the
a bunch
hell
of,
do I write it down?
you created a bunch of short-term bags recently, if I remember correctly. So you currently should only have about 3 long-term ones currently.
Cool. Let's just say there's
I'm not
3.
really asking
and
about
remember from here.
long-term ones.
Oh, but by short-term ones, I mean ones that will have expired.
Oh,
in the 2
right,
days
okay,
since
cool.
the
Yeah,
institute.
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, would it be worth one or two of us having a small bag that actually has a keg of gunpowder in it that we could leave somewhere for Lux to blow up?
We could.
I mean, or for me to blow up. Any of us could blow it up, really. But yeah, that maybe no harm.
You can fit a 7-pound keg of gunpowder in one of those comfortably.
Yep.
Also, you can fit a few. You fit like a big keg in one before.
Okay. So this is a sort of plan.
I think so. There are definitely some gaping holes in it. Like, what if he doesn't take us to the cellar?
Then we kill him wherever he is and he'll bolt, which
He's
will either go
isolated.
outside or he'll go for his secret exit.
Yeah.
Yes. I think a lot of this plan hinges on the fact that we have his preferred, hopefully, means of escape covered. If we can close off everything else and make that look like the most enticing option, we should be able to get him.
Time is the problem. If we had more time, we could, hunt down his lieutenants and take them out in advance, but we don't have time.
Well, could you make it part of the ritual to invest him into the Fisher Kings that he has to have his subordinates witness it?
Well, you have to have 6 witnesses specifically.
Well,
Or just say we want to know who you trust. We want the people you trust in the room.
yes.
Who is the
And then
Fisher
we
King in the
charm as
circle?
many of them as possible.
If he lets me play guitar for a minute, we'll be fine.
Well, work that into the ceremony then.
Or we just
ridiculous.
do a charm as high as we need.
That is true, actually, yeah.
So it's one for every level above. 7th level will get them all.
Or like 2 of us do.
Yeah, no, that's also worse.
We've done that before. It's been fun.
And any that we don't manage, Corzin shoots in the face.
I mean, as soon as we shoot one in the face, that is the charm dead. Right? You know that, right?
No, if we shoot that one, but anyone it fails on.
I swear.
The
I
moment
think
you
it's-
start shooting
yeah.
their companions, I think...
Oh no, until you or your companions do anything harmful to it.
Yeah, no, this is true.
It does not say it's companions.
True.
Because we've come foul of that before and not helped
This
our
is true.
allies.
This is true. You don't actually. Yeah, you're right. Harm to your allies won't necessarily snap you out of it. They will. They'll treat it as ever with charm. They'll treat you as a good friend, but they'll still trust their They'll still be true to their basic nature. So
It's not dominate person.
It's not dominate.
yeah.
That's a different spell. So their reaction, even if it's not to attack you, might not necessarily be to just like calmly go along with whatever you're planning,
Yeah.
like sheep.
Yeah. A lot of holes, isn't there?
Oh, there's so
Yeah, but
many.
I still think this is the
Halflings.
the best way we've come up thus far of ensuring that there are no innocent bystanders and that we can get as many of the leadership structure of this gang as possible.
Then we
Even down
burn
the
the
toilet
pub
and-
down.
Pretend ceremony. Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Problem is for me, in that enclosed sort of space, I'm
Yeah.
going to struggle to hit lots of people quickly. I can't fireball a room that we're in.
I mean, the Fisher King ceremony could have to be up a big hill or something. That's not a thing.
They're
That
not
can't be
gonna
a
go-
thing.
they're not gonna
He's
leave the
never gonna
pub.
leave his pub.
But a confusion on them all. How many can you
That
hit
could
with
work.
confusion?
Like loads, actually.
Just
I
like a
think it's just
20-foot
everyone
area.
10-foot radius.
Except for radius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I'm going to be pretty concentraty, so
Okay.
that's an issue. Otherwise, who knows what Lux will get up to.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Honestly, get them into a room and cast confusion as soon as possible is not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that's probably our best bet. So, I guess it's probably too much to hope for that we can track down each one of the lieutenants beforehand. So we've just got to take whoever happens to be there.
Yeah, they're probably not all going to be there either, are they?
Probably not.
No, but we might be
Maybe we
able
can
to
pick
find
some
out.
off later.
Yeah. So long as most of them are there, this is still, I think, our best bet.
Yep.
Alright, so, arrive. Chat.
Fart spells.
Fart
Scamp
spells.
visits the privy.
Fart spells are
Comes
vital to
back.
this plan.
We discuss an investiture. They lead us somewhere more private.
It'd be lovely if it was a cellar, but if it's not, that's fine.
You cast a big gold spell on them.
Oh, they
We take them down as quickly as
probably drool
possible.
and scream. We hope.
Whatever Scamp summons cuts off any escape route they have. And, yes. Then we somehow make it out of there.
It's flawless.
It's
It's
not
not
the
flawless,
craziest
but
plan
I
we've
like
ever
it.
come up with.
It sounds fun.
Yes.
Is it bad that I'm looking forward to killing him?
Yes and no. He's not a nice person.
Uh,
But also, killing never
Also
feels like
killing
something
a
you should
person.
look forward to.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to him not being in charge of things.
I think you're taking a very narrow-minded view of this. If you do a thing well, you should take pleasure in it.
No.
You have to admit you're very good at killing Scamp.
Look at an interesting thing. I'm fine.
Right. Don't get me wrong, I don't actually look forward to killing people that often, and I wouldn't say I'm actually looking forward to it, but I'm finding it really hard to feel bad about it, is more accurate, actually. Usually I can find some measure of guilt when we have to do stuff like this, but I really hated him.
I was a terrible person.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to killing him. Roughly, Scamp's just like involuntarily twitching. Yeah. All right.
Should we just do it now, before we lose our nerve?
Yep.
No time at the present.
Okay, in which case, you gather your forces and prepare to head to the fretting fiddler.
Gather your forces. What? Hang on.
So, you make your way back to Five Friars, and consequently, to the fretting fiddler. Much as before, there is a tension to the air. There are a lot of people, a lot of halflings hanging on street corners, still people on the rooftops. But you do notice there, but you know, you're coming pretty openly, so they mark your arrival coming in from the front. And you do actually recognise... what is his name? You do recognise the doorman from before.
Oh, I like the doorman.
The doorman's cool.
It's Tam, that was it. Tam's still on the door. Looks up. Looks up at your arrival. Looks like 3 of you are back then.
Yeah, Tam, wasn't it?
Aye.
Oh.
One moment. Knocks on the door. Actually, doesn't even knock the door. Just like pulls it open a little. Hi. Circus is back in town. Showman.
Where?
That's a really excellent introduction. Wonderful.
He opens the door and with a slightly exaggerated gesture indicates...
I do like the most theatrical one I possibly can back, which is saying something.
Oh yeah, it's
Which of us is the acrobat?
Oh, it's... I rolled low enough that I think I actually maybe whacked my head on the door frame trying to do one. So it's fun.
Ooh,
Oh,
interesting.
no.
I rolled a 3, and my performance is really high. So I pass it off. As
Yeah,
like
you
crap
try
thing,
and
but-
do like a full-on courtly bow.
What's your
but you're like,
total?
18.
18. So like it's actually pretty impressive. You just like, but
Just a bit weak. Yeah.
no. You it's fine. It actually looks great. You wrap your knuckles on the door frame and just cover it, so it's like.
But my hand is sad.
But your hand's a little sad. Inside, then, you can see, as before, there are a number of halflings kind of lounging around for the most part. But this time, there's less casual drinkers. Everyone, you would say at this moment, you can see inside about a dozen... actually, I'm going to say 15 halflings total right now. On the inside, a dozen around the room with various coats and the like, by sitting at tables, drinking, chairs slightly pulled out so that they got room to like spread their legs and move a bit. There's the bar woman who is a bald. Who is just like a bald halfling with a kind of almost like a walrus-like red moustache. And there is, of course, Owen, who is who's sat by the bar, accompanied by. Actually, at this point, no, just accompanied by by a couple of the halflings either side of other drinkers and chatting to them. But you do see him. He actually he doesn't stand in your arrival, but he does turn. You can see he's still sharply dressed as before in his little tweed waistcoat and flat cap. Well, wasn't quite sure if I'd see you back. I take it you've had some time to consider my offer.
Yes, we have. I wouldn't mind a chat in private, actually, if you've got somewhere quieter. Oh, of course you're willing to... You don't have to be alone with us. We wouldn't expect you to trust us that much.
Interesting. How private a chat are
This
you
is just
talking
not
You
for
and your inner
public
circle?
consumption.
Before we do though, I've eaten a lot of sandwiches today. Do you have an outhouse or somewhere?
Smell. Like waft.
Oh, that's what that smell is.
Roll a... At your choice, Scamp. This would be either deception or performance.
Okay.
Why on earth didn't I give either of you inspiration before we came in?
That's
That
an excellent
is a 21.
Yes.
Sure, we've got some... we've actually got a few outhouses around the back. Just... Why don't you go show the kid where the outhouses are? Three of the halflings kind of stand up, like with a creak and a bit of a stretch. One of them, with a thick beard, looks up at you. Something you disagree with?
I ate a lot of things today. I think they disagree with each other.
Whoa.
Like a long one.
Why? Definitely it's dust and growing bark. Come on then, kid. I'll take you on your back. You have to go around. There's a little side street you can use.
Chaz.
You'll need to use the he kind of like does like a thing where he's like measuring with his hand. Yeah, you'll need to use the visitors one.
Okay.
You accompanied by three halflings stand up and make your way out. Scamp, I say we'll follow you for a moment. You are led out of the building, round to the right, past the kind of cellar door, cellar hatch, trap door, around the side of the building, accompanied by your three escorts, all the way around to the back, where you can see on that sort of narrower street, where there's slightly more, not even necessarily rough, but like very dense housing is. There is the row of 4 outhouses that Celestia mentioned. You know from Celestia mentioning this that the one on the left is the one with the passage. They
all
direct you
attached.
to the slightly larger one on the which is the furthest right.
Are they attached or are they like independently standing?
They are attached 4 in a row. They
Okay,
share
so
walls.
if Lux wants to start going through walls, that's an option.
That is an option. But yes, you.
I'm picturing like under cubicles, and I know that's not how it works in this century.
But the pit underneath
crawling
is
underneath.
likely to be one pit.
Most likely.
Probably would be, yes.
Poo crawl.
Yeah.
You hear a sort of. Well, if it's the orders.
Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna pop into the one that they indicate because it seems weird to argue.
Super weird. Yeah.
They don't come in, but they do. But
That would be beyond
that would
weird.
be beyond
if they
weird.
did.
But you do see that
Yeah,
two of them kind of lean back against the wall a little bit on the opposite side of the street. One takes one kind of gets out a pipe as it and starts like fumbling for some tobacco while just standing by the door.
Imagine if you were actually pooing. This would be the worst poo. He's got 3 gang members just outside.
I mean, I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make some concerning noises.
Is it the type of outhouse where you'd be able to see, like, people's feet?
Just some really worrying noises with thaumaturgy. I'm trying to get the guy by the door to maybe back off a little bit.
Performance
You
check,
can make
please.
the grounds tremor.
Where's the dice roll?
Oh no, well that's a 1.
Oh no.
There is a knock on the door. All right in there.
I'm a nervous pooer.
Do you want us to get you some licorice or something?
That's a good idea. I've got some though, thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to summon Lux
You could
in
be
the
hours at
hole.
this point and they'd believe you, I think.
I will summon Lux as a barbed devil
There's a barb
down inside the toilet pit.
inside the cesspit.
Yeah,
Got it.
Right.
Okay, so
because there's
Covered
space.
demon.
yeah. Can I ask for a sleight of hand check, please?
Are tides active?
They are not. Would you like to activate them?
Yes, please.
Do it.
Tides
Those are both not great.
are now active.
Sleight of hand. Okay, I am decent at that, but that was a pretty bad roll, so it's only a 12.
Okay. You begin sort of like getting a bit of chalk and just like sketch it. Actually, no, you don't use chalk for this one. You bite your you cut a little bit of your thumb with your knife, and using your blood start tracing the seals in the air that you need to do to give Lux form. We're going to come back to you.
Oh no.
Right.
Lol.
As you
What the
engage.
fuck are we
As you
doing?
engage in
I haven't
your
found anything.
awful shit. I'll just keep a note of Lux's hit points then. So AC, yeah, got it. Cool.
I'll keep track as well, though.
Thank you. Please do. So, as the pair of you see Scamp exit with their escort. So, private with my inner circle.
Yeah, they like to know who they're working with.
Interesting.
Also, I
they'll probably
prefer
want
not to
people to be
send.
bearing witness to this.
I prefer not to send
Bearing
in a
what?
public place. People look.
Oh, well, that's true enough. That's true enough. But bearing witness. What's she talking about there? About there?
Well, Fisher Kings like to do. I don't want to say like an initiation. It's more like a couple of sendings back and forth to check who you all are. It has to be done by an official spokesperson of the Fisher Kings, and it has to be witnessed by you and anybody else who will be involved in the agreement. Because, I mean, let's be honest, darling, as much as we all like an underdog, you are right, Azra is not quite the pick, is she?
I'm glad that you're seeing sense there. Well, I...
Don't get me wrong, I hope she's a valued part of your team.
No,
great,
absolutely. People that are... Okay, no, that's fair enough, Well, if we want this to be a little bit quieter, we've got a little bit of... a little bit of something, somewhere we can go if you don't mind things getting a little bit darker.
I'll just look over my glasses.
You're on your... They're kind of like sat again. Just a reminder that Celestia's like sat on the floor right
Over
now.
my glasses. I don't think I'd
You're
mind
a
it being.
giant in this place.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it being dark would be a problem, darling.
Oh, that shouldn't be too much of trouble then.
I'll wait till they're back, so.
Ah, okay.
Better
Oh.
to have all three of us present. Just technicalities, you know.
Of course. So, Do you have a plan in mind? Or shall we go with mine?
I'd like to hear yours.
Alright. I think that...
What's our best play?
I think that we need to be taking the initiative pretty early on as soon as it gets dark.
I would agree, get the jump.
I have quite a few... I have people who can take the flanks of things, draw up a little attention. That should keep most of the foot soldiers busy. And I think this would be a good time, especially if we can orchestrate for Azra to attack from the west. That'll be good. That should be enough to open up a clear path for you to get to our dear friend Mr. Jenks and his. You want to watch out for them. They have a particular style of fighting which is very team-based.
I can see that, having met them, actually.
I was going to ask, actually, what do you expect them to be doing?
I imagine they'll be planning similarly. Now, assuming you went and made a similar offer to them, as you did to me, they'll have seen you come in here, and will have realised which way the wind is blowing.
One assumes.
So, chances are they'll be trying to catch you out. They'll try and hit you the moment you make your way back to your base, that ship of yours, or to the Deadeyes. So I'm going to recommend you stay here until dark, and then we'll launch together. Now, if they suspect that you've made your way back already, they might try and launch an attack straight on the gilded fish. So that'll be a good way to catch them.
They seem a stealthy type. Would I get that right?
They
Pick
have
up a lot from meeting somebody.
Most of them aren't, but they have a few stealthy types. I'd say that they're good at... They're pretty up in front, but it's also a decent bit of misdirection at times.
Oh, I mean, we know all about that. It works.
That's true.
So looks over to the bar at the bald barman. Seems that there's something that we're going to need the sublettings for. Could you do me a favour and get Moll and the others to come back in? The bald moustached man, halfling, kind of nods, finishes cleaning his glassware, and steps up, opens the bar, and goes out and out of the room.
How many of your people do you have here that you can call on immediately?
In terms of people, we've got what are we talking? Are we talking foot soldiers or specialists?
Everyone you can bring to bear. I've got a feeling like this could get very nasty very quickly. We need to know how many people we have to work with.
I want to roll an insight on him sending somebody out of the room. Was there anything weird going on there? Just before you go into the list of people, which is also really helpful, but 12 is not great.
I thought.
Hard to read.
Okay. Carry on by all means.
He says, well, I mean, in terms of foot soldiers, everyone's already on hand. Don't worry. By the time we get ready for our assault, we'll have a good few hundred, but there's definitely several score that we can bring in.
You're pretty well armed as well, by the looks of things. So we've got that on our side.
We had
Which, as we found out during the last battle, is really quite the advantage.
Indeed it is. We had the benefit of moving product for this interesting little company called Gold Star for several months.
No, we're aware.
Thought you might be somehow. Well, we've taken advantage of product supplies here and there.
Don't blame you.
Of course, perks of the job. You're,
Yeah, they're taking a while. I really think they've had too many sandwiches today. They got a bit sandwich focused.
did they try the big ones they do down in Bow Central?
Yeah.
Can really stick in your craw if you're not careful.
Then I ran out of steam after like sandwich number 2, but you know, here we are.
Diplomacy is hungry work for some people.
It is.
As you're chatting, you notice a couple of halflings get up from a table, wander out to just up and out through the main doors.
Do I see where?
They're just up out to the street.
Oh, right.
There's now about 9 halflings left in the pub, apart from Owen.
Okay.
Gotta say, I'm very impressed with your gear set up there, Captain.
Well, it's been acquired over quite a while. Some of the perks of the job, but also some things of just sentimental value.
This is actually a
It
good
pays
point.
to be prepared in a job like this.
I assume you're wearing your full complement at the moment, or have you put it in
Yes.
the bag of holding?
Well, I would have.
Because you had
Actually.
you had stuff
I'd
away earlier, but
Yeah, in the bag of holding currently would be the sling, the net gun, the regular carbine, the air carbine would be out, and actually probably the nosebleed cat would probably be in a pocket.
okay. So you currently got 2 swords, 2 pistols, and the air rifle,
And the
and the blunderbuss.
the blunderbuss would be strapped across the back, as
of
you
course.
like,
So
around
like, yeah,
the lower back.
you're pretty armed, but in fairness, you have said you're planning to go. You have intimated that you're ready for a fight.
This is a pretty normal
We're
situation.
expecting to
be
go
honest.
into combat
Expecting
this
to go to
evening.
combat.
That's
He's
not.
That's not necessarily raising your eyebrows. Owen himself seems to be. He's not unarmed. You can see there is a pistol holster that he has, and that's the most obvious armament he's wearing. Well then.
Okay.
So which
Does
would
he
you
have like a sax in a boot or something?
roll a perception check?
Okay.
Actually, this would be
Slight
investigation.
base, so advantage.
Actually,
Investigation.
It's investigation
right,
for this because you're imposing slight, if there is any.
No, that's 5.
Probably, like, you don't know where the hidden weapons are, but you know, like, you know, it's
As
a
if he
halfling.
wouldn't have
It's
any.
like you would expect a halfling, especially if the old rumours are true, a hill clan halfling to have at least a knife and a boot somewhere.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
you take
do.
the amount of visible weapons and then you multiply by. Carry the 2 in the nose.
So, cutting back, Scamp, you are about 3 rounds from completion when you hear again,
Yep.
everything all right in there?
I mean, the final right.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Define all right.
Do you need a hand?
With what? not!
Do you need someone to just like pick you up and shake you?
No! I'm not. Just. How tall are you? That wouldn't even. No! I'll just
Mary here's
jump
nearly
up and
3.5
down a
feet.
bit if you think. Yeah, well, I'm like 5 foot something or another. I'll just jump up and down if you think that'll help.
Fine. Okay.
House.
At which point you finish like gesturing with you've nearly I'd say that 2 rounds pass. You're
You need a hand is a ridiculous question to ask someone while they're pooing. Stop it.
but nevertheless, with all of that like posturing around, I do need a deception check from you, please.
Okay. 21.
Okay. They let you finish your poop in peace, and you complete the ritual. The blood. There is an unfortunate flash of light.
But it is down the toilet. Like, I'm
From the
casting
to-
down the
You're
toilet.
casting down. Like, there is still the point where the blood forms into crimson planes of light that reshape into Lux's form. So today,
And a smell of sulphur.
and a sharp smell of sulphur.
Smell of sulphur
Not out
fits
of place
right
in
in.
an outhouse.
Yeah.
Okay, so you there is a. Does it have to be? Yeah. That's the size is medium. Cool. Just checking that out. So you see as the as the planes of light come together, there is a shortish woman, kind of looking vaguely humanoid, with wearing quite long Wellington type boots. She has
Waders.
Yeah, she's got waders on. She's got a thick coat, or in red and black, and a kind of, and again a quite thick sort of red jumper. You notice that the coat is covered with what look like very small thorns or barbs. And her hands are, let's see, yeah, and her hands have quite sharp claws, talons on the ends of her fingers. Apart from this and a kind of slightly spiny looking face, she looks fairly normal. Oh, well, actually, nope. The claws just started glowing. They just started they are glowing, and there is a little bit of smoke coming from them. Yeah, this isn't the most subtle form. What are your precise instructions?
Go into the other outhouse and defend and attack anyone that comes, any enemy of ours that comes out of the secret entrance. Because Lux was there. Lux knows which one it is to go to.
She knows that it's the one on the left. Go into the other house and kill.
And I can continue giving orders, can't I? It's not just the first order.
Do you have
and Lux is telepathic in this form?
Lux is telepathic, is telepathic in this form. So you hear a somewhat sultry, "Oh, very well then," in your mind.
And if needed, you might have to break open the thing and go down the hole. I'll let you know.
Okay.
If anyone bothers you who is clearly a guard or working, then you're allowed to defend yourself and fight them, of course. don't kill anyone innocent.
So don't kill any innocents. And do you say kill any... what were your exact words again with regards to anyone who comes out of the secret entrance?
I think I said kill any enemies.
Cool. Kill anyone coming
Any
out.
enemies of ours,
Any enemies
specifically.
coming out of the entrance. Okay.
And just a warning, if I lose my concentration and you get to do whatever you like, if you cause trouble, you're not coming out again for a long time.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Can you roll a stealth check? So it's just a dex check, please. So +3 for Lux wading through shit. Please.
Ooh, 18.
Okay.
Book roll.
With a very slight squelches and a growing smell of brimstone, ducks underneath the barriers between the outhouses and makes her way across. Yeah, from outside. Gee, a bunch of rotten eggs or something.
It's tiefling metabolism.
Is that a thing? I don't know.
Apparently.
Teeth. You done yet?
I would think.
Yep, all done.
Okay. You come outside. And
I did give Lux the bag with the
you give Lux the bag with the cake.
yeah.
You come outside and the 3 halflings are still waiting there for you.
I'm so sorry about this. This is a really weird job for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pretty weird one. The one who's been by
I
the
hope you
door
get paid well.
just opens the door and just takes a look around. Kind of see him. You actually see him look down and peer underneath the seat, checking in case you might have stuck a weapon there or something. They're pretty blatant about it.
Yeah,
All
that's fair.
clear.
Of what? Never mind. I don't want to know.
I want someone to say all clear after I poo.
Talk about a whiffy smell though. Right, guys, get you back inside. Come on. They escort you back in. So there's one side.
I'm glad we thought to put
like-
Lux down the toilet.
Yeah.
Just as they're coming back, I feel like this is the part of the conversation that we're on. I have a really weird impulse. So I'm just doing
Yeah,
it.
go for it.
One question actually about your operation here. It's very interesting. Do people always poo with an escort, or is that just for guests?
It's just for guests.
Right. Okay. I wondered.
Can't blame a man for being too careful.
No, not at all. I
Oh,
just had
no,
an
of
interesting
course.
version of reality where you just did that.
All
It's a
clear.
thing. All
Consider it
clear.
a special... taking a special care of things.
Yeah, fair. Treating us very well. Thank you.
So,
Nice
You
to be
wanted
looked after.
you wanted a bit of a special something with me and some close, trusted people.
Yeah,
Can
I
do
promise
that.
you, it's not as interesting as it sounds. It's basically a couple of sendings that we want a few people to witness.
Oh, that's all right. How many witnesses are you looking for? How about I bring down 3 or 4 of my good people I can trust. Match you. We'll make it 3.
If you consider that to be your inner circle.
I just want you'll forgive me for wanting to make up the numbers so that we're
Of course.
got even numbers to you and myself.
That's fair enough. You literally met us today. That seems fair.
Of course. Well, he stretches a little bit. Gets up.
How
off his,
suspicious is he?
stool.
Right.
Roll
I'm
an
guessing
insight check.
pretty suspicious. Oh,
Can I
not
do one as
brilliant.
well?
15.
And that
Might as well if we're all
is,
rolling insight. Natural
also
one, but
15.
lucky.
15.
And we'll see.
Oh no.
Why is it? You're kidding.
2 natural ones.
What? That's a really bad time for that. We're all gonna die.
We're all gonna die.
So you've critically failed an insight check. Cool.
It's an interesting thing to critically fail, actually.
I'm just going to make a note that you have done that. And we will... yeah. We'll come back to that at some point. But there is clearly something you have missed or will miss. Oh, it's taken all campaign, but the triple ones are the double ones are coming back.
Oh boy.
Let's bring. So, you see that Owen nods to three people, all of them halflings, two men and a woman. And he heads over towards the trapdoor leading down to the cellar. Nods to it. One of the halflings kind of pulls it open. You can see the steps down. Of course, it'll be a bit difficult for the transition. You might need to sort of sit and squat down, but there's room to stand up down there.
Oh, luxurious.
After you. Guests first.
Of course. Just go.
Did we get any read on him from a 15, or was he
Oh,
unreadable
sorry,
still?
I actually forgot about that. From a 15, he is hard to read.
Fair.
Like you'd guess that maybe he's a little on edge, but you can't. But he's been a little on edge the entire time you've known him, which is today. So, you don't know.
No. Sorry, I was rolling to see if I did something because I couldn't make a decision.
Okay. You head downstairs, and clambering down, you find yourself in the same beer cellar as before. Large barrels flanking the room up on sort of double sets of racks. That's the word I'm looking for. Ramps that can be used to get up and down from them. Celestia, you notice that where the doorway was that you saw before, there is an upright barrel, not on the flat side, in front of where you know that is. So it's not immediately obvious. However, there is a broadly clear space in the middle, and you see, and although it is comfortably dark to you, one of the halflings lights a little lantern and brings it down for the sake of their comfort. Because unlike the party, it appears that they probably can't see too well in the dark. Although actually, it's not actually that dark here. You might be forgiven for it if you were not someone used to operating in pitch darkness. But there is the slats of the floor up above are wide enough that they let a bit of light in. So the whole room is actually lit kind of second hand from above. But in enough dim light that even without the lantern being brought down, you could probably make your way around. It's certainly enough that none of you really have the dark vision senses really kicking in.
Okay.
Is there any sign of people above now that weren't there before? If that much light's coming, and we should be able to tell where people are roughly.
Make a perception check, please.
Oh
Can I
dear.
do the same?
Yes.
Where's the ceiling?
8.
The ceiling is it's actually the ceiling here would be about it's probably about six and a bit feet high, like you're having to stoop very slightly.
Okay.
So 21
Actually,
for me.
no. This is enough to get proper barrels in. So this would be a proper this is likely a good 10-foot ceiling, high ceiling. This is actually quite a low cellar that's been built in specifically for keeping barrels.
Cool.
And the like. Well, actually, is that a bit low? No, they've got a hogshead. Sorry, I'm doing a mental check of how wide is barrel.
How big barrel? How
big
many barrel?
Yeah. Okay, it's probably I'll split the difference and say it's about like 7 foot tall, so enough that you can stand up comfortably.
21 from
21.
that perception.
As far as you can tell, there are still 9 people up there, you would guess, based on the position of shapes. You do notice some of them moving around a little bit. You would guess that 1 or 2 groups have gotten up from their tables and moved. They're moving pretty quietly, though. And not a lot of creak transfers down here. In fact, you actually it's fairly cut off from the rest of the area. You see Owen and the other three halflings kind of wait a moment until you kind of walk into the middle of the room. Owen is standing probably about 20 feet from the keg that Celestia, because you've mapped this location out, you know is the false keg on the south side. Just to give us a bit of loose structure, the keg is on the south side. The door, currently hidden behind a barrel, is on the west. You have come in from a set of stairs in the northeastern end of the room. A little ladder that goes down, and both the north and south sides are just flanked with barrels on kegs, on racks.
Oh, it's beauty.
Oh, I might have missed it. You said, what's the dimensions of this room other than height? Like, how big is this cellar?
I have not mentioned it. So this cellar is reasonably capacious, like when all's said and done. So actually, with that in mind, 20 feet is a bit of an exaggeration. Even stood in the centre of the room, Owen is probably about 15 feet from the false keg, but on the other side of the room of it, like he's on the more western side of it. This room as a whole is probably about 25 foot wide. 25 foot deep going east to west. And then you would guess about 20 foot wide. So going north to south. So it's a 20 by 25 foot room.
Okay.
So...
And how far away are we from them currently?
If they've moved into the centre of the room, they are about 15 feet from the from where. Actually, no, they made you go down first.
Yeah, they did.
So I guess the question is, where do you position yourselves in the room?
Not between
we
him
can
and the
block
door,
exit.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Lux is blocking the exit. I don't
Blocking
know.
the one exit. If he goes out through the pub.
True. Yeah, I guess somewhere nearish the ladder would be a bad shot.
You, the three of you clustered near the ladder. That's fair.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to say...
I mean, the plan was basically get him in a confined space and do a spell, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, when they're all down,
Yep.
it's probably time to drop a confusion, isn't it, lads?
Okay.
I think so.
So,
I can't think of anything else worth doing.
So they wait until you're in position, until you're clustered, and then they kind of... Two of the halflings going to keep their eyes on you.
I mean, I don't want to be too clustered in a group because that just feels like targets.
Okay.
But if Corzin can be blocking the door.
Okay, so Corzin, I've Corzin by the stairs.
I guess I'll go, like, northish side.
Okay, you head towards the north, probably about 10 feet from Corzin.
Yeah, I want to be
that
10
makes
feet
sense.
from them, obviously.
Yeah.
I want to make it so I can hit them, but not Corzin. So.
In which case, you probably want to go a little bit further to the west and end.
Cool.
If Corzin's to
Yeah,
the east.
if
So
Corzin knows what she's doing, then he will attempt to position himself so as to make it
yeah.
easier for her.
Okay, so you position
Like a
yourself.
big show of like having a stretch.
Okay.
I'd like to stick to a wall because I'm worried about things coming through the holes in the floor.
Cool. So
Yeah,
we'd pick a wall, north, south, east, or west. North and south, by the way, are like you can't reach the wall because there's barrels in the way. But
One without the secret exit in.
I mean, that would put you next to Corzin, or if you don't want to be next to Celestia. So
I'll be nearer Corzin than Celestia so that we're not in the way of Celestia's spell.
Yep.
okay.
So where are you?
So Corzin and Scamp are on the eastern. Corzin is right in the northeast by the ladder, blocking that exit out. Scamp is by the south. Is kind of almost the southeastern corner. And you are about. You're a good 15 feet into this 25-foot room, a deep room, so that you will basically get all of the you. If you were to just do a 10-foot radius confusion, you'd get everything that wasn't where Corzin and Scamp are.
Okay. I mean, as soon as they're in the room and I can do that, I'm gonna.
It's
Well,
10 foot
making a
up
big-
as well, isn't it? In terms of
It
radius,
is 10
you could.
foot up, I think.
It's
It's a
10
radius
foot
sphere rather than.
radius sphere. If I'm going from
Or
you.
is it?
Yeah, 10-foot radius sphere.
10 foot radius sphere. I'm gonna invoke a little bit of.
Centered on the point I choose.
Yeah. Oh, centered on a point you choose. Oh,
Yeah.
it's not just from you.
No, it's centered on a point I choose. It's a 4th level spell, so you get a bit more leeway.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I wouldn't mind centering it above.
Okay, you want to try and center it above so that it hits
Like
the
on the
people in the
ceiling.
middle and potentially get and would get anyone up on the with a. If it's a 10-foot radius sphere, it would get potentially a lot of the pub above.
I think chaos sounds like a good idea. What do we think, lads?
Yeah, definitely chaos.
All right.
But yeah, as I'm making a big show of stretching and yawning, I just take a breath in.
And one moment, because as you come in, you position yourself. Corzin and Scamp, you position yourselves. Then Owen and the other three walk in. And as they get into position, you start doing your stretch. And this man's been in a lot of tense situations before. And whether it's your positioning in the room or just something in the glint of your eye, you see him twitch to move at the exact same moment. And this is going to come down to an initiative roll after these, no doubt important
Ah, that's a good place.
Oh.
messages.
The cool, refreshing taste of tossed cobble bitter is the perfect antidote to any heated situation. Brewed of special virgin hops and made to the secret specifications known only to the elucidated Order of St. Brunhilde, it's aged to perfection and then bottled and barreled for just such an occasion as this. Toss cobbles, what's in your beer cellar?
And welcome back. Everybody roll initiative.
That is far too cheerful for initiative.
Really is. That is a 13, which is
Wow.
good.
13 as well.
10.
Oh, good. This is going to go well.
Okay.
Why didn't I give you inspiration? No one knows.
And
You had a lot on your mind.
10 for Scamp. All right, so as I say, the moment that you yawn as if to begin casting, Owen takes that moment to strike. And strike is pretty much the plan here. So the first, even before, he doesn't. There's just no, just go at the moment. Before he even says anything, he's just springs forward in a strange motion where he just leaps, reaches down, pulls one knife sacks out of a boot, another from up a sleeve, and just lets out a wild laugh as he just leaps at Celestia, going, "You're fighting a halfling underground! That's the oldest mistake in the book. Besides, don't have a land war in Haldanos."
We didn't start a fight. No one's
and he
fighting
is just going
except
to-
you.
Warning, fuck you.
Yeah, before just like he's saying this as he attempts to savage you repeatedly. So I'm going to roll some attacks.
I'm sure I'm fucked, so it must be.
Yeah. So what is your AC these days?
16.
Cool. So what if I put his
Got a
plus
modifier of
at-
25 on them saxes, doesn't he?
Would have been useful if I actually had that written as. Okay, no, I know what his modifier is. There we go. 16. First one hits. Second one misses, but third one hits. That was cocked. Ooh, 16. The fourth attack misses, but the fifth hits. As he
How many attacks does he have?
5 per round.
Fuck me.
As he
Ow.
just
What
splurs
is he?
into you with a mad cackle, and you just noticed he made a stealth check. This is one of the reasons he sent you down first. You can just see the flecks of pink, redly flecked
He's fucking snorted something.
coming from his nose. So yeah, three.
Fuck it, I haven't got any.
3 of those hit, and there's sneak attack as well. I'll note that he is not near either of his companions when he hits you, but you're separated from yours as well.
How does that work then for snake attack?
Swashbuckler.
He's a swashbuckler. So let's roll these d6s.
Didn't know that that's how it was different for swashbucklers.
Swashbucklers, swashbucklers can sneak attack you in a solo fight.
Yeah.
You just need to not be near any of your companions.
It was why Corzin had to fight dirty to beat Sabnet.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do the sneak damage first. Sneaking. That's 13, 16. So that's 20. And then let's add in the actual sax damage, 3 of which hit. Plus 11 plus fucking like 12 more. So you take 43 damage, straight up damage from repeatedly being slashed and stabbed. From the 3 slashes and stabs, including one that goes perilously close to, you're not even sure what, but something vital. You feel it scrape off your ribs in a way that that nicks, you think maybe a lung. And it burns. And when I say it burns, whatever he's coated these in literally burns as you feel the edges of the cuts just like start to flare up and smoke. So this, you additionally take, you would take 10 damage, but it is halved to
I am
5
fire resistant.
because you are currently fire resistant. So that is his first action.
Red Leaf's hilarious.
Red Leaf's hilarious as you see him leap away from you. You don't get an attack of opportunity because this is another swashbuckler ability. Towards one of the kegs on the north wall, grab the spigot, pull open the smaller false door, and he calls out, "Let him have it! Let him have it, gang!" Sorry, he would go, "Let him have it, fam!" And then he's gonna pop inside and close, and you hear the clack of the hidden space locking behind him. So Owen started the combat. Who has he got here at this point? 1, 2. Okay. Before the next person then, following the plan that was previously discussed, there is a clacking from another of the kegs. This time, actually, it's one of the kegs to the southwest, and you see a small knot hole in the wood slide open, and all three of you catch. Well, Celestia's a bit busy, like being on fire momentarily. Although the bits of flame are being sucked into your waistcoat now. You glance over and you see the bald, mustachioed halfling with a fucking rifled carbine peer out and just take a shot against... This is going to be Scamp. Oh, and they're taking it with... and they get advantage for this attack as well because it's the first one of the round. Okay, Scamp, what's your AC these days? Did you
10.
remember to cast Mage Armor?
No, I did not. It is 10. It is always 10.
Okay.
Bye.
So that hits as the rifled bullet spins through the air with a crack. And
Oh no, not 10. Sorry, 12. I
12
can't count.
still hits.
I know, it's
I was
definitely
going to say
going
10
to hit.
seemed a bit low. And yeah, that
I
hits.
do have some dicks.
So the good news is these guys aren't full assassins, so you're not taking the ludicrous amount of total damage that could be, but you are still getting extra sneak attack damage on top. By the way, good thing you weren't trying to do any sort of like open rooftop fight with this, because that thing has a 480-foot range.
Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah.
Okay, so that is 10.
I mean, so do I.
Yeah, true. 10,
Alright, for some of us.
16, 19, 25, 31 points of percussive damage.
Is that from a single hit?
Yes.
Shit. Okay, I lose concentration. There's no way I can beat that, is there?
You'd need to be...
Oh,
no, it's 35
yeah.
halved.
Yeah, so...
So you... A six...
now I've rolled double threes, so that's 11.
Okay, you feel the tenuous connection to Lux snap. Let's roll Lux into the initiative.
Oh, there's like now a timer on how long Lux is around. Let me find that.
As far as you... Well, maybe. We'll come to that.
It's...
Where is
It's definitely longer than the duration of this battle.
Yeah, it's something, but this is how long Lux has to do whatever Lux wants to do.
Yep.
3d6 minutes.
Cool. I will roll that.
Lux may still kill Copper Kettle just because for the
You
lulz.
you feel like this one might... That connection... That body ain't going to evaporate quickly. There's some part of your like innate sorcerer senses that tells you that without the connection being the connection to Lux's skull being directly maintained by you in the same way, it's probably that body's gonna like burn out itself, but not for a little while yet. Also, all three of you just hear in your skulls.
Ooh.
With no source.
Interesting.
You just
Lux
hear...
is telepathic. Is that Lux?
Yeah, you just hear... It's hard for me to mimic the laughter, but it's definitely a sort of... There's definitely a feminine edge to it that isn't reflected in Copper Kettle's mad laugh.
Right.
You just hear Corzin and Celestia, you hear this unfamiliar woman's laughter. It's not Olga's, which is something, but it's still not great.
It's not Olga is the positive.
Okay.
I mean, that is certainly a positive.
The sniper is, as a bonus action, going to hide so they slide up the knothole. Just going to roll against Corzin's passive. Your
We still know where they are.
You know where they were at the moment they hit.
Okay, so but if they've got nowhere to go from there, then we would.
Then you know where they are. Annoyingly, I have actually lost everyone's passives, but I believe
Mine is
your
10.
Your sight is broken, Corzin, so you're down to 18 on your passive perception, if I have that correctly, by just
19,
sound.
but yeah.
19 by sound. Cool, thank you. Okay. Celestia's, I believe, is 16, and Scamp's is... Cool. Okay, now it's Corzin's go. Corzin, there are probably about 9 people up above. There are 2 halflings still in the room with you. Sorry, 3 halflings still in the room with you. Who Owen has just, fucking left here.
I rolled a 9 up above, hostile to us now.
I mean, you just heard a gunshot just went off. You know,
Right.
most of, if not all of them, were armed. Were
Right,
probably armed. Yeah, and Owen has just screamed, "Let him have it, fam."
Right, okay, cool. I was just trying to make sure that none of them were just random bystanders. Okay. Right, the 3 that are in the room, how close together are they?
Oh, they're in a nice little knot in the centre.
Oh, nice, right. Blunderbuss time. So, yeah, this is going to be great shots. He is going to get into a position where he can encompass all 3 of them. And I think they've just got to make a dex save.
Okay, yeah.
As a bonus action, however, he is going to cast... Ooh, what would this be? Conjure Barrage, I think. Actually, no, forget that. I'm just going to roll them regular damage. Right. Oh, that's pretty good. That is 16 damage, save for half. DC of 14. And yeah.
You catch all 3 of them. 2 of them are just... 2 of them immediately go down from the spray of grape shot, pepper shot. They hit the ground and don't move. The third one, I'm going to say, is ducks out of the way of the worst of it. But is absolutely scored through with streams of. With streams of buckshot, is bleeding horrifically, and just immediately starts scrambling in a mad panic. You can see that on their turn they will scramble in a mad panic towards the exit.
Can I close to melee with them with the movement I have remaining?
Yes, you can.
I will do so.
Okay. Yep. You move into melee with them.
Where the bloody hell are you going?
They just scream I don't want to die.
You should have thought of that.
Okay, that is your
Best
turn.
response.
Next up, it's Celestia.
Instead of doing a yawn to do my confusion, I'm just go like teenager kind of sigh.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would like. I don't know. A lot of them are in the walls, aren't they?
You know that there is at least one marksman in one or more of the barrels, and you know that there's 9. Speaking of which, let me just cross those 3 off. There's still 9 up on the level above you.
I would like to get up as well.
Yeah.
I think so. I am going to do my trick of positioning it on the ceiling.
Cool. You'll be able to get a
I'd
majority.
really like to get in Copper Kettle in it. I know where he was.
You know
but
where he was. You can try and.
Can I get that spot in it without fucking up everything else, or how does that work?
Yeah, if you move positions, you can get that spot into it. You'll be able to hit about half of the people up above there, because rather than going dead center where he was originally, just because of how the radiuses work. But
No, actually, I'm kind of annoyed, and I like the idea of him being conscious while everybody else starts screaming and dribbling. So I'm gonna do it centered and try and get more people.
Yep.
Because I think if he's on his own, he's not going to enjoy that. So yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
do that. I'm going to go for like quantity,
All
like
right.
the most of his people I can get in one.
Cool. This is going to tie up some halflings for a while then. So you head up, you focus up, and you cast Confusion. This you usually just breathe out for this.
Yeah, I take a big breath in, and then the rainbow spirit rays out of me like a gas.
Okay. Honestly, with the number of halflings up above, I'm not going to roll it individually. As a whole, enough of them are confused that whole group up there breaks into sort of arguments and confusion. Some just like screaming, "The walls are melting!" Others like taking shots. Some are trying to shoot down, but there's not a coherent effect going on. Okay, so those ones are so that's basically everybody up above currently confused.
Yeah. I'm also going to take a healing potion. I've got quite a few, and it seems like a good moment to not use up a spell. So
Probably is. Okay,
Cool.
you swig
what's a normal healing potion? I always forget.
2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Okay, you swig yourself a healing potion, at which point it becomes Lux's go.
Oh dear.
Okay, Lux acts.
Oh dear.
This then makes it Scamp's go.
Okay. When the little knot slid shut, was there like a locking sound, or did it just shut?
Sounded like it just slid closed. This is
So-
like it's like a little letterbox sized thing.
So could I use thaumaturgy to open it?
You certainly could.
I would like to do that, and then I would like to quicken a fireball through it.
Okay. So can I ask? Annoyingly, I still don't have access to the books. I need to get them out of the damn bags.
How much do you make all the doors bang open?
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Is it every door? Are you targeting this one, or is it just like everything that will open?
Let's have a look. An unlocked door or window.
Unlocked door.
But I don't know if the expanded cantrips makes it more. What word was that thing called that I always forget to find?
Evolving cantrip?
Evolving
Evolving. Thank
cantrips.
you. That is the E word I was looking for.
I'm gonna like house rule that your level. You can probably just try and swing open everything within like say a specific like. I'm gonna say like pick a corner of the room. Like you can go northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest.
Ooh.
The knot
At
hole
11th
walls-
level, I did find
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Unless you go, we can use your house rule.
Go.
It says you choose to open all or close on all unlocked doors and windows within range, within the
Cool.
spell's range.
Which is like 30 feet. So you should be
30
able to
feet.
just hit all of this.
That's really fun.
Awesome. So anything latched will not open, but anything that is unlatched will just flip open. So you cast that. You notice about 8 small letterbox sniping holes open up in different positions in the barrels on both the north and the south side.
Okay.
Yes,
is
this room is
there-
a murder hole.
Yeah, I thought it might be somehow.
You also see, you notice that there are on the north side 4 halflings in the process of readying their carbines,
Oh, look, I
Hiding
can
in
find
various-
space.
hiding in various positions. They are spread out a little bit. They're not all just like in one knot, but like across the 4 ones to the north, you can see those. Just because you can see that they were in the position of about to open them and fire through themselves. You do not catch sight of the bald, mustachioed halfling.
Okay. Hidden. That my perception's terrible. I think he could be standing in the middle of the room and I'd miss him. I will put a fireball through the sort of centre one of those to catch some
that will
of
go
them.
through.
I'll do a 4th level fireball and quicken that. And I did
Okay,
not
and-
get the dice out.
Can I ask for total damage, please? Because I need to check the status of certain walls.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I'm going to use a dice roller because I can't find that many
Cool.
d6s quickly. So that is
Fair.
33.
Okay, 33, especially against wood, is enough that you are able to blast open the northern edge of the wall. Now, I'm thinking about how deep in this goes versus because fireball.
I'd like to
is
send
a
it as far back
10
as it can.
As
but
far back, no, you go as far back as it can. But the point is that these
there
are
isn't
some-
much deep.
There isn't much depth to begin with. So, yeah, Corzin, I need you to make
Yep.
a dex save, please.
Sorry.
Okay,
Because Celestia moved from the north wall to cast.
so that's going to be a 23.
Yeah, that saves.
Okay, you take half of, was it 31 damage?
33, sorry.
33. Cool. You take 16 points of fire damage as with a billow, all of the kegs on the north side splinter open. You shatter open doors, locked positions. You see very briefly that there is you very briefly see 4 halflings before they are immolated. Cross them off the list. And you also see you also see briefly a little passageway that runs between each of the lower kegs.
Oh.
The upper ones also burst, and I'll get to that in a moment. But you see that they run towards a couple of much more secured-looking hidden doors. These ones are made of thick wood reinforced with iron, in the same way as the one that Celestia saw before, like behind a barrel.
Right.
And so they are not immediately destroyed by the fire blast, by the fireball. What is destroyed is the entire upper level of kegs, which immediately crash to the ground and flood the ground with beer, turning the entire area into difficult terrain.
Whoops.
So this area is now extremely slippery as a
also
fuck ton
delicious.
of beer suds just
Would
coats
this be
the ground.
considered naturally occurring difficult terrain?
This, for the purposes of you, yes, this is naturally occurring difficult terrain.
Okay.
I mean, I suppose all Corzin's favoured things are like flowing water and stuff.
Yeah.
So
So this is
actually,
That's also actually one of my ranger abilities means that I don't get impeded by difficult terrain if it's non-magical.
Is beer your favoured terrain?
I mean,
As a halfling, is beer your favourite terrain?
I think it's probably fair to say it's Corzin's, yes.
Cool. Before he could act, then the third halfling from the original bunch also gets caught in the blast, and you see him just ragdoll against the kegs opposite. He is also out, and very out. That is now 7 dead halflings you count thus far.
Oh, I feel bad.
From up above, you hear sort of incoherent screaming and shouting, and the occasional crack of gunfire as the confusion persists. Anything else that can happen on your turn? I think that's it. isn't it?
That's action and a bonus action.
Cool. Back to the top of the round. There's a pause. And a pause. Okay, back to Corzin.
Worrying.
Okay.
concerning.
The flow of suds also dislodges slightly the. Actually, no, it doesn't dislodge anything. But things are as they are. So you've got the. So right now, the room, all of the kegs on the northern end are shattered. You can see there are 2 formerly concealed secret doors.
Okay.
And leading to the broadly to the north, and that there is also, and you know about the existence of a secret door to the west.
Right. Is the SUD level high enough that it's affected my gunpowder weapons?
Not that high, no. You don't keep any. Right. You don't keep any guns in your boots, so you're fine.
No. You mentioned that there was a murder hole above us. Is that still easily accessible?
When I say the murder hole above you, I mean, were you in a position, were they not confused? They could definitely put, shove barrels of guns through the floorboards above you and shoot down.
I see.
But there are murder
boiling
holes.
oil.
Yes, there are still murder holes. Yeah, good thing they're all confused. There are still murder holes to the south of you, though, which have all swung open in the kegs to the south. Like you can, and you can see that there is some sort of passageway behind there as well.
Right. Well, I'm going to try and dispatch the halfling in front of me as quickly.
Oh no, he's gone. He's been ragdolled against. He's been ragdolled by the flame blast into some kegs and is now face down in a pool. In a pool of blood and beer.
I'm going to run over to any of the murder holes that look like they might be occupied and try and shove one of my bombs through one.
Okay, I mean. Your grenade, your little bombs are about the right size to shunt through a letterbox. If you're going to try and target which one is intact, I want a perception check as a bonus action, please.
Okay.
Your sight does apply because the murder hole slots, the letterbox slots are now open.
Right so. Okay, that is a 28.
28. You run up to them, quickly peer through. There is no one behind any of them, but you do catch sight, just through the corner of the little dividers in between the false barrels, of what looks like another of these reinforced secret doors.
Okay.
To the south. So you would guess, if you had to make a guess, the mustachioed sniper to the south has probably fled through that.
Right. Do I have enough movement left to get to one of these reinforced doors and try and open it?
You can get to the one to the south. You can't because you don't know how to open the door, where the doors are to gain access. The ones to the north, you totally can, or you could get to the one to the west if you just shove the barrel in the way out of the way.
Yeah, was that the one that we think
That's
that
the one,
Owen went through?
You reckon, based on where he went, Owen went through one of the two to the north, but you don't know which.
Right, okay, so we're not going to know that. Right, he's still the main target, so I'm going to try and get to that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Left or right?
Split decision, left.
Okay, you go to the left. There is not. So looking at it, there is a sort of there is a simple jut of metal to serve as a handle, but the door is not ajar or anything. How do you want to try and open this? Do you want to try and elbow through or what?
Yeah.
There was a way of opening the other one, wasn't there? There was a sequence of things you had to do.
There was.
Yeah, it was turning it one way, then the other.
I would have said. I did.
You can remember. The other one, you remember that there were two different ones. There was a rip on the south. The barrels on the south end to get to the cesspit exit. You needed to touch something on the rim of one of the barrels, and also turn the spigot. And then when it was getting out of the trapdoor, you had to you had to turn a key that was in place and then pull on a lever. So if you want to try and look for any secret mechanisms, that's an investigation check.
Yeah, I think given the situation, that's what they're going to do.
Okay.
Fair.
That'll be your action.
Yep, that's fine. Investigation. Okay, that's 19.
Ooh.
19. Okay.
Yep.
Yes, you are actually able to tell that there is, to the side, recessed into the frame, there is a small key-like little twisting bit.
Okay. I will twist it.
Okay, you twist that. What's the next thing you do?
Okay, so I've got to turn the spigot then from.
In this case, there isn't a spigot. There's just a handle, but you.
Oh, okay.
I'm just checking.
I will try and pull the handle.
Wasn't
Okay.
what was the other handle you had to do?
Yeah, so anti-clockwise a certain number of degrees, then clockwise a certain number of degrees, wasn't it?
Yep. Okay, you're going to try that combination.
Yeah, I'm going to try and recreate that. That's the only one I have.
Cool. Roll a luck check.
Well,
Okay.
does he use the same password for everything?
Okay, the luck check is a 15.
You actually fuck up. Your memory fucks up a bit, but enough in just the right way that you hear the click and manage to shove open the door.
Okay.
So, this door now open. This has kind of cost all your movement to get to this point,
Yep,
but you hold the door
fine.
open now. Leads into a narrow-looking passageway that is halfling-sized. So Celestia going through is going to need to go hands and knees, which means you're basically moving prone.
I'm not confident Celestia is fucking with them passageways, to be honest, so we'll see what happens.
Okay. It goes.
She might choose a different route.
Yeah, it goes forward by about. It goes forward by about 10 feet and then turns to the left, and you can't see past that. The walls appear to be a mixture of brick and wooden boarding. There is a dim glimmer of light from inside, as of perhaps a hanging lantern around the corner that is casting light.
Okay. Well, that opened it.
Okay, that is Corzin's go. Celestia.
Okay, what can I see? I've really lost track.
That's okay. So very quickly then, there are two doors to the secret doors to the north. One of which on the left Corzin has opened, and you can see that there is a narrow halfling-sized passageway that goes in and, like in an L shape, goes to the left. There is some lighting there, and the walls are a mixture of brick and wood.
I don't know what I can do here. I'm a bit stuck. I don't think crawling down a passageway when she doesn't know where people have gone is not necessarily a Celestia move. Okay, I have a weird instinct. What I actually want to do is go above, get out of the pub and try and see where any of them come out.
Yeah.
See if you can work out where they're going to end up.
Have a look round and see if I can see any exits.
Okay. I would actually like you to make a...
So it's completely left. I mean, like...
No, that's fair.
These are exits, aren't they? Like, probably.
I would say actually, with your base intelligence hyped up as it is, you do notice that the passageways slope downwards a little bit. So you're not sure if they're immediately going out or if they're leading deeper in somewhere.
The one that you saw going out, did that slope up?
That one did slope up, then,
Okay.
and you know where that one is.
Again, Warren of Tunnels, like, is this useful?
It's a shame we haven't got like a tidal wave or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just endless
there is-
water.
Here's another thing I could do.
Go on.
It's my big thing for the day. And Corzin's already in one of the tunnels, so I probably can't actually.
Corzin is standing by one of the tunnels.
Yeah.
Is it the
I haven't
door?
gone in yet.
I mean, there's a temptation to just chuck something down a tunnel and see what happens rather than flinging myself in. It just really doesn't feel like something I
Yeah,
do.
no, that's fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I've also got a concentration up that I can't let go, so this is why I'm struggling.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling.
Yeah. Because I really can't let that concentration go. We're fucked.
Yeah.
if I do.
Unless you want to like deal with the people up above and then try and proceed downwards, but that's up to you, really.
So they'll be gone.
Cool.
Oof, I really don't have any ideas here, kids, to be honest.
Well, if I've just opened one, and the other one is there, and you know how to open it,
Yeah. So
is opening that an option?
So that's the one you already know how to open is the one to the Cesspit.
Right.
There's only that one. Otherwise, it's an
there are
investigation
two
check.
other south secret entrances that you can see. There's a second one to the north, next to the one Corzin has opened, and there is the one behind. There is one to the west, and that was the one that you could. That was the reinforced door you saw originally in the vision.
Okay, so you could open up the way out.
Yeah.
That one is a little bigger than the other one. Like it might be less of trouble for you to go through that one.
So what do you mean that I'm...
Sorry, this is one ones where the visual the visualization one is doing this in a bit. So three of the so north wall has two doors, halfling sized. West wall has one door, which is a little larger than halfling sized.
Yeah. And that's the one out.
To the south is the false keg, which leads to the cesspits.
Oh, right.
So
I'm getting my west and south mixed
Sorry,
up.
I'm trying to not mention it so that I don't confuse you, but I realise that is actually confusing you more.
Yes,
Right,
because we know
okay.
it's
So,
there.
yeah. There are, to the best of your knowledge at this point, there are three exits that you don't know where they lead.
Where did I see people go?
You saw people in the vision, or like just now?
Just now.
Just now, you saw Owen run northwards, so probably through one of these two exits on the north side. But you, and that is where you've seen someone go.
Okay. Yeah, I guess maybe I'll try and open the other one.
The other one on the north side,
The
or
one
the
that
larger
Owen
one?
went through.
It could be one of these two. You don't.
Exactly,
Yeah,
the other
I've
one's
opened
open.
one. If you
So,
open the other
yeah.
one,
Alright.
maybe?
How do you want to open it?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll try and figure out like Corzin did with investigation
I'll
and
do
stuff
that.
like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One moment then. If I can ask you to make an investigation check, please.
Yeah, it's not good. 16?
Okay. With a 16, it takes you around, but you are able, after a little bit of looking around, to find a similar sort of little turn handle thing. So you take the key, twist it, tug on the handle a couple of times left and right. You don't know the combination, so I'd like a luck check, please.
7.
Okay, you do manage to pull it open, but as you do so, there is a ding sound. I need to roll dex save, please.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, dex save's good though. That is a 27.
Okay, the spring-loaded, it's essentially like a crossbow bolt, just whisks your hair as it flies out of the concealed space. But you don't. But you do find there is another smaller passageway which leads in, and this one looks like it goes a bit further. It goes forward about 10 feet, then goes like down in a sharp little descent, like a little, almost like a little chute before vanishing out of sight. You have movement to try if you wanted to go through either of these right now. You could, but again, these ones are quite small, so you would need 2 hands and knees it. So you'd only be able to get 15 feet in.
Yeah, it's a way more Celestia move to chuck something down there once she
Cool.
knows where they might
Yeah.
be. And this person is not going to belly crawl down a tunnel that she doesn't know the person
That's
she
all
wants
right.
is
Yeah.
down. That's not
Yeah,
happening.
that's totally fair, totally fair.
What I am going to do, though, is I'm going to open the door in a theatrical manner. And there is a flash of rainbow, and you can both have 5 temporary hit points. Not 5, 11 these days. And you can move if you want, which I figured might be helpful.
definitely doing that. If
Yeah,
I can get to, the
to be
corner,
honest, it's
that's
more for the
something.
moving than the hit points.
Okay, so
But, yeah.
I mean, Corzin, do you want to? Does that mean you're going down the passage, or?
Yes,
Okay, Corzin
just
is
so I can see what's around the corner.
okay. Corzin, you scamper forwards, peer around the corner. You can see up ahead. There is the corridor goes slightly downwards, about another 15 feet, and then it ends in another of these sort of reinforced-looking doors with with this one with again another kind of like sort of twistable handle on it.
Okay, and that's the extent of my movement, is it? That's got
No, with your full movement, you could probably get to the end of this corridor if you wanted.
Oh, great! Yeah,
You,
okay.
you
I'll do
probably
that.
you don't have like it's not your turn right now, so you can't open the door, but you can
Yeah,
get
that's
into
fine.
the
So
end.
long as I'm there, I'm there.
And there, if they've done that, then cool. Corzin has only got into this on Celestia's round, which makes a difference.
Yep.
Scamp, you are currently in the beer sud drenched room. You can see the path to the. You can see the path that Corzin has just gone down. There's another open door to the north as well.
Okay, and there's no sign of any movement behind the other side.
Not right
Things.
now.
And those walls are completely intact currently.
The false kegs to the south are still intact.
Are there any real kegs left?
Yeah, it appears that the kegs on the top parts of the racks are real, judging from the ones that exploded on the north side. So the real kegs on the south side appear to still exist. They're just on the north.
Okay, how big would you say they are in terms of tiny, small, medium, large, huge?
I would describe the barrels. They're a mixture of barrel. These are primarily barrels rather than kegs, so I describe them as large but not huge.
Okay, I'm trying to work out what's going to be the most damage, effectively. I think maybe I just want to blow the wall up on the other side, because I think having these doors exposed is going to be useful. So I was thinking of animating the objects, but actually, I can use a lower level spell and just blow the wall up.
Especially because it'd be tricky fitting them through the doors.
Oh, I was just going
Okay.
to smash the wall so that the doors are exposed. But if we're there's a chance we're leaving this room, and then I'll just have barrels I can't do anything with. So I will use a third level fireball and just back away from the other side and blow
you
that
hugged
wall
it-
open.
You hug the north end, and with a. Okay, I need you to roll damage, please. 'cause that's
That
gonna
is
make a difference.
35. This dice roller is doing me well.
With a second blast of flames, you see the south end entirely is completely shattered, exposing the small tunnel leading to the sewer, leading to the cesspit exit, by the way, and also cause it. 35 is not quite enough to blow open the southern reinforced door that was behind the false panels, but it does destroy the sniper section for where people could hide in, and it causes those southern kegs to crash to the ground and flood everything with suds. This time, the level is high enough that the suds actually rise up and go into the secret passageway, the pair of secret passageways. At this point, anything else you want to do? Scamp, can I ask you to roll? Just roll me a perception check, please.
13.
Okay. You notice as the beer suds flow in that they run down the passageway that Corzin has gone down, and where they hit, and it keeps continuing on past the brick, and where it hits wood, it seeps in, like it flows. You notice under very small gaps. in past those seemingly solid walls.
Okay, so either fake wall or... Fake wall. It's a door.
Fake wall.
Fake wall! Fake wall! Also...
And you also hear, at about the same time Corzin does...
Oh, fuck.
Is
a
there
sort of
enough liquid to
hissing
put
sound.
whatever that is out?
coming from somewhere in the narrow passageway. And as for that, as for what that is, we're going to have to find that out at the start of this next round.
I've still got a bonus
Oh, you still got
action.
action, haven't you? Carry on.
I would like to... I don't know where Lux is. I don't know if they're listening, but I'm going to shout.
Okay.
Lux, I know I technically can't give you orders, but I'll owe you a favour if you help out.
Dead silence.
Okay, worth a try.
Yep, definitely worth a try.
Um,
And I'd like to stand so I'm in part of what was a fake wall, in case anyone's planning on dropping anything from above.
all right. Yeah. You stand under the lee of the fake walls, so that you're not in a position to be easily directly attacked from above. And at that point, we have with kegs destroyed, beer sud soaking into the passageways and underneath the wooden sections of those hidden passageways, Lux gone silent and loose, and a distinctive hissing sound coming from somewhere down that passageway. We're going to pick up at the start of the next round next time. Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you all very much for listening. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s. You talk so tough around my town to come and throw your weight around. But I've killed fools who're twice as bold to fight a halfling in his hole.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.